Hi everybody, welcome into On the Ball with Dan Piscopio. On this channel I will be covering most of the major events currently happening in the world of sports. So first we're going to start off with the Super Bowl. It just happened on Sunday. It was a boring game, 16 points in all. The match between two very intelligent coaches, Bill Belichick and Sean McVay. They are the two smartest coaches in football in my opinion. Sean McVay, who just turned 33 years old, is the youngest coach to ever make it to a Super Bowl. Who faced off against Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach ever, who has 6 Super Bowl victories. Both coaches put on a great defensive show, the score only being 13-3. Let me talk a little bit about Tom Brady. He won his 6th Super Bowl. We can talk about how Tom Brady once again led the game-winning drive, but I'm going to talk about how he wasn't as good as everyone thinks he was. Here are Tom Brady's stats from the Super Bowl. 21 of 35, 262 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. I can only remember that one throw he made, which is extremely important because it led up to the Rob Gronkowski touchdown with about 7 minutes left in the game. Other Hall of Famers like John Elway and Peyton Manning won Super Bowls when they really weren't that good, and that's what Brady did this year, but congrats to him on winning his 6th, the only player ever to win 6 Super Bowls. Got to give it up to him, and the Patriots and their dynasty is going to continue on, I guess. All right, let's move on to the losing team in this Super Bowl, Los Angeles Rams. Who do I blame for the loss? I don't know if I can blame the young, inexperienced quarterback, and I don't know if I can blame the young, inexperienced coach. I blame Sean McVay for this loss. The Rams had more penalty yards than rushing yards. I think that's a discipline issue on the penalty part. On the rushing end, they only had 4 rushing attempts in the 4th quarter when your quarterback is young and inexperienced and he's got a lot of pressure and he's got a better running back duo than Tom Brady. So I just think if he kept running it and kept enforcing the run during the game, it could have been a different outcome. Another big point I wanted to point out, late in the 1st quarter, the Rams were going to punt from the Patriots 42. And that had me really confused. Yeah, you don't want to give them good field position if you don't get it, but it's early in the game. You can make up for it. It's no score, chance to put some points on the board. They got to delay a game on the Rams' part, so they ended up punting from the 47. And I just thought there was a inexperienced head coaching mistake right there. So I blame Sean McVay for the Super Bowl loss, although when you're facing up against the greatest coach of all time, it's pretty hard to blame someone. Instead, just give props to Belichick and Brady. The Super Bowl MVP was awarded to Julian Edelman, wide receiver for the Patriots, who had 10 catches and 141 yards, and no touchdowns. In my opinion, I think several other people could have won MVP. Just pick a name on the New England defense, or their head coach Bill Belichick, because that's who I think gets the MVP. The Patriots defense sacked Jared Goff 4 times, picked him once, and the Rams had not approximately, 0 plays in the red zone. New England had over almost 150 more yards than the Rams, held the Rams under 300 yards for only the 2nd time this year. Rams had under 200 yards passing, only 62 yards rushing, and not even 5 yards per pass. The Rams only secured 14 first downs all game. If you don't know, that is not good. Penalties, 9-3 in favor of the Patriots. Again, that is coaching. Quarterback hits. New England got to Goff 12 times. To Brady, Rams only got there 4 times. I don't think a receiver who doesn't make an impact on the scoring should win Super Bowl MVP. Doesn't mean they're not important, because Edelman was very important in this game, because that's pretty much all who he threw to, other than Gronkowski. But the biggest impact, either one of the players on the defense, or in my opinion, it's Bill Belichick who should have won Super Bowl MVP. Here's just a couple notes around the NFL. Today, Greg Schiano is hired as the new defensive coordinator for New England. It's their 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 years. Guess it doesn't really matter since they've won 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls and been there all 3 times. Zach Taylor, the quarterback's coach for the Los Angeles Rams, is now the Bengals head coach. He's from the Sean McVay tree. He's young, so hopefully for them they could work out, because their recent coach they had for way too long, Marvin Lewis, and very unsuccessful in the playoffs, so we'll see how Zach Taylor turns out. I'm going to turn to the Eagles quarterback situation. I'm a diehard Eagles fan. When they won the Super Bowl last year, it was the most exciting thing I've ever seen and been a part of. Nick Foles is in Philadelphia history. They should build a statue for him, enshrine him. I don't care. He means so much to the city, and we're extremely all thankful as Philadelphia sports fans that he brought us our first Super Bowl. But he's got to go. It's time for him to go. Carson Wentz is the future of the Eagles. It's time for him to go while he has value. Do you really think that Nick Foles, who wanted to retire from football a couple years ago, is going to win another Super Bowl? He's only showed me one season where he can last a full season, and that was under Chip Kelly back in 2013. He's getting older. I just don't think that he can maintain this throughout season after season. Carson Wentz is the future. He's younger, he's more talented, he's cheaper. Eagles, make him work. He should work. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in all of football. Carson Wentz needs to be your future quarterback. Alright, next time we'll focus more on the NBA and the NBA trade deadline because that is coming up tomorrow. I'm filming right now, it's Wednesday, so Thursday at 3 p.m. is the deadline, so we'll talk more about Anthony Davis talk, the Sixers trade with Tobias Harris, and whatever other big trades come through in the NBA. So we'll also talk a little more NFL if there is any news, but just wanted to get the Super Bowl stuff out of the way in episode 1. By the way, if any of my friends that see this video want to come on and talk sports with me, I'd be glad. It would help me get some more viewers and get our names out there. So please, if anybody I know wants to come talk sports, I'm always wanting to do that. So I will try to release an episode once a week. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 1 of On the Ball. I'm Dan Piscopio. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys on the next episode.